All right, here we go.
Good evening. We're back. Oh my word. So it has been quite some time since we have had the Greenville Gab show. And as you know, I am Aubree Lewis, and this is what we do, answering your questions and giving you really good local data about Greenville, South Carolina. So, as we are here, we're just going to go ahead and talk about the absence that has happened over literally the last couple of months. So, I think our last live stream was the end of July, maybe even 1st of August. I forget. But basically, what ended up happening whenever you do too much over a very long time span, you burn out. And that's basically what happened here. So we took a much needed break and just regrouped, decided what's important to us and what we want this show for you to be. So with that, what we are doing is we're keeping our same time, same place here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and just making sure that we provide this information for you and we become your resource for all things Greenville. So with that, as we start all of our shows, do me a favor, go to your comments and let me know, where are you watching from? Are you local? Are you here in the upstate South Carolina? Or are you watching from another place, maybe a different state or a different country? And we are very excited to get back into the swing of things here. The last 3 months have been very, very busy. And I want to address a lot of the questions that have been showing up in our comments on our videos, on my social media, and just going ahead and talking about, okay, well, what's been happening since the end of the summer and what's happening in the real estate market, but then also what's happening in Greenville or just overall the upstate, because we talk about it all. So with that, the other thing that we do in the show is over in the comments, do me a favor. And it also, on top of letting me know where you are watching from, because you never know if somebody is watching from the same area that you are in, this is a community. I'm here to answer your questions about real estate, about Greenville, and I answer them live, which is kind of cool. I think it's pretty cool. And so that's what we're doing, ping off of each other in the comments, and let's see what happens. I've got so much lined up for us tonight, but I do want to slow down and say, okay, Aubree, you took that much needed break. And I'll tell you what kind of ebbed up to it. And July was crazy. It was our best month in real estate business. And so our team was moving so fast. And it was literally just me and Christy, our other agent, and then our administrative team. And we closed about 16 transactions in the month of July. It was crazy. It was busy. It was so much fun. And I wouldn't wish anybody to go through a crazy month like that, on top of being a mother, wife, friend, everything like that. So we've grown the team, we have added agents, and we are continuing to stay busy. So I don't know if you've noticed, headlines in the real estate world have been kind of doom and gloom a little bit recently. And if anything, they also are, how do I say, they're just on top of the doom and gloom. They also are inciting like fear and questions and confusion. That's what I have found the news is kind of there for these days. So actually wading through and finding the information that is true, is correct, and isn't super scary is hard. And so I've got the information tonight. We're going to talk through the Greenville housing market specifically. I do have some information just about the national market, because I know a lot of people who watch our channel here are coming from out of state. So that is a big deal, because I know people have houses to sell in order to move here. But also the question has been brought up: what happens with the Greenville market? Is it slow? Are prices just continuing to decline? So, and then how does that affect everything else? Because isn't Greenville still growing? And there's been a lot of cool things in the news recently for Greenville and its growth, not just here specifically for, like, I don't know, like, why are so many people moving here, but that master plan that Greenville put out over a decade or 2 decades ago is finally really coming into fruition and is growing even more. So we're going to go through all of that. I've got some fun little things, and we're going to just go through all of that. So as a reminder, as you join the stream tonight, go in the comments for me. Let me know where you're watching from, if you're here locally or if you're from out of state, and then let's just get the conversation going. So first things first, I am going to touch in on the real estate market. Of course, that's what I do. That's what our team does. So as I'm going through this, if you have questions or any comments along the way, and you're like, man, I would really like more information, or, hey, you know what? I've been waiting a while. Aubree, can we have a one-on-one conversation? There's this really cool QR code up here in the corner. If you are watching on TV or you have a QR reader on your phone, this QR code will take you to our website, and you can request information. You can set up a time with us. There's all sorts of fun things, but the QR code is the best way to contact our team. And then as you watch tonight, I've got some free little goodies that I will mention throughout the night that you can also request through using that QR code. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and see here. I always like to go over to the comments and see what we've got going on here. Hey, Jacob, how's it going? Ta-da! Yes, see, I was just taking a break. And then, well, hey, Chris, how's it going? From New York City, hey. Let's see here. And then I'm going to talk about this. What's the new hot place in Greenville? We will talk about that as the night progresses here. So, all right. So first things first, so talking real estate market, and then I've got some fun goodies that we're going to talk about with just what's coming soon, because we're right here at the holidays. What's happening? So plan is stream tonight. We will live stream next week. I've got a really fun, hopefully a fun surprise for you guys next week. And then we are straight into Thanksgiving week. Just holidays. So we'll be taking a couple breaks just around the holidays, and then we will have a consistent schedule for sure after the holidays. So with that, let's go into market. So I went ahead and I pulled the stats from as of October 10th. Let's go ahead and pull this. So I love pulling, let's do this here. Make this a little bit bigger. Pulling numbers like this, I think, is always really important, because we have seen statistics like this. This is how we find out, okay, what's actually happening. Now, as of October 10th, we're looking at year-over-year information. I want you to see this right here. So as of October 10th, 2024, there were 4,800, almost 4,900 units that were currently on the market. As of right now, this number is true. We checked it just, I think, a couple days ago. There are 6,500 units on the market active. That's a 33.6% increase. Yes, inventory has gone up considerably. That means that here in the Greenville market, we have more options. What has also happened though is average days on market is inching up more and more towards that 3-month number. And they're sitting pretty steady around that 77, 78 days on market. And then look at these prices here too. So volume numbers, but I'm looking at price. Believe it or not, prices are continuing to go up. And here's the thing. I also like to come down here, look at the pendings, and then we look at solds here. And then down here at the bottom, we look at a sold year over year number. We have more sold, prices are continuing to go up. And if you look at just an overall January 1 to the end of September, we're looking at a pretty I would say as far as prices going up, they are, but only at like a 1 to 3%, depending on the different numbers you are looking at. So we are not seeing a depreciating market, even though you are seeing prices. I know everybody watches like Zillow and Realtor and so on and so forth. When you're watching those, that it's off of an algorithm, but all you're seeing is price reduction, price reduction, price reduction. Yeah, that's happening because half of our market is overpriced. So we have to do the price reductions. And we're still seeing an overall year over year appreciation. That actually has something to do with a pretty healthy market, if you ask me. Now, I had actually, I do a quarterly meetup with people I'm in business with. And the Greenville market is very well insulated. And because we are such a hot relocation area, our market actually is still pretty good. Now, as time has gone on, we have so much new construction here, and it makes selling resale houses a little bit harder. But if anything, what I would recommend is paying attention to, okay, well, if a resale house is here and a new construction house is here, don't get surprised or don't get caught off guard with the new and shiny, because it's not always better. And if anything, sometimes I feel like you're overpaying for a house because new construction has set comps, set comparables. And it gets kind of frustrating because we're negotiating new construction right now. And so many people who just go straight to the builder don't know you can negotiate and that you have negotiation power. So that's my little soapbox on new construction, y'all. We'll probably get more into that as we continue throughout the night. But really, it's looking at the numbers. It's following the data. It's understanding that when you're looking at the Greenville market, we're still pretty healthy. We just have a lot more inventory. So I'm going to touch back and forth on the real estate side of things probably throughout the night, and pull up the map eventually as we get more questions throughout this evening. But that's kind of my quick tidbit for you, is that the Greenville market's still really healthy. We have houses sitting on the market for pretty much the same amount of time as they did last year. And we are seeing prices still go up. They are not just like they're not depreciating. So at a rate of at a rate of 1 to 3%, 1 to 4% tops. And the market's still moving as long as you're priced right. So, okay, with that, let's kind of go into some of the fun stuff about Greenville. And I've got some fun little things that'll pop up tonight about the holidays, because I believe that that's important, especially as I know that so many people plan their trips around the holidays. Believe it or not, people still come into town November, December, and they buy houses. Imagine that. So we're still pretty busy even throughout the holidays. But I have one of my favorite, Greenville happenings websites that I love to look at and love to share with everybody else. So here we go. Let's look at this. So this is the Kidding Around Greenville website. And specifically, I think Thanksgiving, it gets overlooked. um, you're always like, people are looking for things to do, and where to get things. Like they try to cater food, or here, Greenville's best holiday pies. Hello. What's your favorite pie? Mine is like honest to goodness pumpkin pie with Cool Whip on top. Probably my favorite Thanksgiving pie. Uh, Anyways, in this website, it gives you some fun things to look forward to over Thanksgiving. And just over the next couple of weeks, you've got Thanksgiving restaurants in Greenville and in Spartanburg, and then you go directly into the holiday guide. This is one of those that I look at and go, cool. Like I always see people ask, where are we going to get Thanksgiving lunch? Where are they going to go get dinner? Like for me, Thanksgiving is, I actually leave Greenville for Thanksgiving pretty much every year. I don't stick around town, but that's because I've got family out of state. A lot of people I know come into Greenville for Thanksgiving, and we've got some pretty busy stuff happening, just business wise. So I don't know, like Kidding Around Greenville is just one of those fun websites. Let's see, let's follow this. 17 things to do over Thanksgiving break in Greenville. And I think we kind of miss out on a lot of the Thanksgiving things because Christmas starts up. So we've got things to talk about there too. Let's see here. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities in Greenville at Greer Soup Kitchen, Harvest Hope Food Bank, just to name a few. There's also a few downtown that aren't listed here that I know of. Let's see here. Disney on Ice. You can go hiking. Y'all, the leaves around here have been absolutely insane, crazy, peak season, super colorful, yellow, orange, red. Like it's fantastic. I think we have a video coming out this coming week that we drove around, and you actually can peek on some of the fall foliage, which is cool, even though we're driving in some pretty congested areas. Let's see here. Ooh, the Book Warehouse is open November 29th and 30th, and then December 1st. If you haven't heard about the Book Warehouse, it is a whole thing. Super huge sale. They do it once a quarter, I think. And like you have to show up like crazy early in order to go shopping there. Of course, there is a Thanksgiving Day run, the Turkey Trot, or let's see, your Trees Upstate Turkey Day 5K. Where I went to school here in Greenville, they called it a Turkey Trot. Anyways, let's see here. Children's Museum, Heritage Park has the lights. That's great. The zoo starts doing lots of fun things around with Christmas. Get your Christmas tree. Ooh, ice skating. There's an ice rink downtown Greenville. It's really tiny, but it's there. There it is. Ta-da! Let's see here. And then just overall, we're kicking off the Christmas season. So as you can see, there's a lot that you can do here over Thanksgiving. Now, I was looking through everything tonight going, okay, what's happening in the holidays? What's starting up? What do I need to know about? And I was kind of surprised with what I was finding. It was, let's see here, where is it? This one. Because we are talking about the holidays and things that happen. One of the big things that happens here in Greenville, or just here in the area that I think maybe some people don't know about, is the holiday fair. Now, this is different outside of like your farmers markets and that type of festival or fair. The holiday fair is very focused in on artists of all shapes and sizes here in the area, but specifically, they have something special this year at the holiday fair. It is the largest modular train layout in South Carolina is going to be at the Greenville Convention Center during the holiday fair. So my like little kid geek out is I love model trains. I think they're really cool, building them, putting them together. It's just kind of, I love looking at them. My husband loves it, so on. I have a friend, Christopher, who we talk about this from time to time with the modular trains. It's a geek thing. It's fine. So anyways, during the holiday fair, the Greenville Convention Center will have this. It is huge. It takes up over 10,000 square feet. And like when I think about that, I'm like, that is a monstrosity of a train set, but it gives you something kind of fun. There's also going to be tastings there, vendor booths. You've got distilleries, coffee shops, and all of this is being presented by the Rotary clubs here in the area. That is something that if you are coming here into the area, you are new, local, you're trying to get involved or to meet people, or you want to give back to the community. Believe it or not, the Greenville Rotary clubs are pretty active here, and they give back to the community in a lot of different ways. So it is something that I pay attention to. Okay, so looking at this, we've got holiday stuff. We know we have holiday stuff in Greenville. If you are new to the area, or maybe you've lived here for a while and you didn't know that this stuff was here. I actually find that that's pretty prevalent with people who have lived here for a really long time. They just don't know what's happening around here because they kind of get into a routine of their own lives. And when you're new here, you're looking for things to do and maybe you don't hear about it. So here you go. Anyways, I thought it was really cool. Saw that. All right. So a little bit more like news for downtown Greenville stuff. We have talked about it, so on. But before I get into too much, I'm going to do just a quick little update here that if you are either new to watching the live stream or you're just joining us, we have this really cool thing. It's a relocation package. It's actually something that we will snail mail to you. If you scan the QR code and you ask for the free relocation package and give us your mailing address, the team will reach out to you, confirm everything, see if there's anything else we can do to help, and then we'll mail you a bunch of swag and magazines and maps and all sorts of things about Greenville. And I'm trying to add more things too about maybe Anderson and Spartanburg, because I know that people are interested in those areas too. Trying to get a little bit more hyper local with things so that we can help you guys out more the merrier. So, all right. So moving into more news about Greenville that I thought was really interesting. And this one popped up at the beginning of October. So we have talked about the Westin Poinsett Hotel downtown. And with this, it's for sale. And I mean, this hotel is 100 years old. It has been around. There are stories about it being haunted, all sorts of things. And it is in the heart of downtown Greenville, right next to M. Judson Bookstore, and across the street from, there's a bunch of offices. The county offices are just down the street a little bit more. But the Westin Poinsett is just one of those beautiful historic places that if you are coming to visit, you should definitely go at least walk through the lobby, go in, sit down, have a beverage, something, because it's just one of those like quintessential Greenville places, historical, and people come to stay there all the time. But with it being for sale, I'm really interested to see what ends up happening with this place, because it sat vacant for so long. It's been remodeled and it just sounds like it's time for it to go on to its next owner. So I guess if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I want to buy a hotel, reach out because the hotel's for sale. But I hope it goes to another good owner, because it is something that is so, it's just so Greenville. It's important to our Main Street and to our area. Next, let's see here. I saw this as well. Anytime I see new schools or anything like that, I love to kind of look at that, because I know what you guys are looking for. Now, not all of you are like, you're going, you know what? Schools don't matter to me, Aubree. I don't have kids. Well, if you're buying real estate, it should matter, because anytime you're around new schools or good schools and you're looking for a good real estate investment, that is kind of a hack that you can look at for the area and find something that maybe some people are overlooking. So anyways, this charter school is going to be built in Woodruff, South Carolina, which is, I would say, it's about a good 45 minutes outside of downtown Greenville. And it's expected to, for the first year, house about 700 students. The second year, as it continues to grow over 1,000 students. Now, this is what's important, and why I think it's important to note that Woodruff is doing this. Woodruff is one of those areas that continues to grow, continues to get built up, and they are inviting business, manufacturing people more into the area. It's a little bit further outside of Greenville, and it allows for a small town living without being hours and hours away from everything. It's not like you're going to have to drive an hour to get to a Costco. You're not too terribly far away from that. In Woodruff, it's going to be in Spartanburg is where you would probably go for all your shopping. But you're also not too terribly far from like Five Forks in that area. So that's why I pay attention to the school stuff, because I know that buying around good school districts, new schools, is usually a smart real estate, move. All right. Moving on, and you've probably heard about this because it has made some pretty big waves. We'll say that. Some pretty big waves. We've talked about it in some of our long form videos on the YouTube channel, and just with the growth of Greenville. Here we go. Setting records. The state's tallest building gets the green light. Now, if you have been paying attention, when you drive into downtown Greenville, past the Bon Secours Arena, and also as you're driving out of Greenville, you have noticed that there's been this vacant lot as you take East North Street down past the arena to get onto 385 as you are heading out of downtown Greenville. It's been vacant forever. It's just been a grassy lot, bunch of trash, so on. Great look whenever you're driving in and out of downtown. Anyways, this has been what has been green lighted. The state's tallest building is going to be built there. Now, I've driven the area, and I'm like, okay, there's going to be a ton of people that move into this place. They're including over 300 multifamily units, so condos, etc. They're looking at adding sidewalks. They're looking at, I think I've heard like businesses along the first floor. So as far as like this project, it's in its permitting process, and with Greenville, that just takes forever. They're very detailed, they're very thorough, but I'd love to know y'all's thoughts on this. What do you think about it? Like, there's going to be a ton of a ton of people that come in. And not to mention, like, they're also doing a huge renovation of the arena, which is within walking distance of this. Like, this is walking distance to the Hyatt Hotel. If you have been here to Greenville, you know that that is very close. And that area right there is already congested with traffic. So I'm curious. I'm curious how it will all land out, and how it will change the area for sure. All right. Ooh, getting warm here, guys. All right. So this project, I mean, it is just one of so many. And I'm going to continue to talk about the different projects that are coming to downtown, because so many people are interested in them and how it's going to change Greenville overall. I would say that the public sentiment around this project, I haven't heard a ton. If anything, it is more like they're just not sure how they're going to put such a big building in this lot. It's really interesting. Let's see here. Let's go over here. What are we saying in the comments about the building? Let's see here. Michael, you're right. They probably are looking to widen the road to accommodate. Maybe. I would think that they would have to do that. Let's see here. Who else is over here in the comments? Hey, Stephanie, how's it going? John! Hey, oh, I'm so sorry. It's a 9, definitely 8. Oh, you'll be down for St. Patrick's Day. And there we go. I'm excited to meet Kevin. Oh, St. Pat's things. You know, I haven't done any research around St. Patty's Days and the things to do here in Greenville. But I'm sure that we will be talking about that as we get through the rest the immediate holidays, because there's so much to do around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Okay, let's keep going here. So talking through this, I want to talk through, let's see here, talked about that. Now, we just had a ton of news about a couple of restaurants here locally to Greenville. And it's a big deal. All right. So apparently there is a restaurant here in Greenville that has gotten a Michelin star. Now, from what I understand about this, this is a very prestigious, very hard thing to obtain. And Michelin, the company, the organization that announces these, they did this as their inaugural American South Guide. And I'm like, okay, well, how many other restaurants in South Carolina got a Michelin star? Well, here, there's only one in Greenville, and I have not been to it, which is weird. I do think that we need to pay attention to this because let's talk about it. Michelin announces restaurants in its South Guide, including one in the upstate. So I went ahead and I pulled it. The restaurant that got the Michelin star is Scoundrel. And I've looked at their menu, just haven't had a time to go. It is a relatively new restaurant here in the upstate, just downtown Greenville. And I'm like, okay. So we've got, let's look at the menu. I saw its whole setup. We were out and about downtown earlier this week whenever they were announcing all of this. This looks really fancy, but it looks really good. So if anything, I'm sure that they are busy. Now, here's something that I would recommend is when you come to visit, and you know you're coming to visit, if you are planning on going out to dinner one night, just go ahead and do your research. you will need a reservation. So, and no, you sometimes can make a reservation that morning. Sometimes you can't. I wonder how busy they are. Let's go pretend to reserve a table. Oh yeah, they're not too terribly busy. It does look like they have, let's see here. Do they have any time? Oh man. No time. Nope. All sorts of busy. No availability. They are booked. That's really interesting to see. Okay. Well, that's what we're here for. This is to talk through it. But this is going to be a really popular place for the next couple of weeks, months. We'll see. If you've been there, I would love if you would comment for us here on the video and let us know what you think. All right. So with that, let's go over to the comments and we're going to kind of wrap up a little bit tonight, a little early. Let's see here. Let's see here. We've got that. Let's see here. Oh, John. Yep. Greenville got a star before Philly did. Goodness. That's important. Well, and Greenville is such a cool foodie town anyways. This article actually, not only did it notate the restaurant that got the Michelin star, but it also noted, let's see here. Let's share the screen again. So Michelin also added like a recommended list of other really great restaurants. Now, I love that Asheville is making quite the splash here. There's a ton of great spots in Asheville. Gianna's made the recommended list. It is Italian, so fantastic, fresh house-made pasta, like right then and there. Sobeys is wonderful, very good food. The Anchorage is really great, like farm to table. They never have the same menu. It's always new, it's always fresh, and like you get to try things that maybe you wouldn't try otherwise. But those restaurants made the recommendation list, which makes me really happy. Let's see here. Was there any others? I don't think so. I think that was it. So here in Greenville, you just get around a bunch of foodies and people that like, that's important to them because local restaurants that they're locally owned and operated are everywhere around here. Yes, you've got the chains, but if there's anything that is special about Greenville that I would love to highlight for you and to have you actually make a reservation for dinner or something is these restaurants. It's cool. Like me and my husband we're going out for dinner with friends tomorrow night at White Wine and Butter. That's a locally owned and operated restaurant. The chef there is one of the winners of Chopped on the Food Network, which is a lot of fun. So, but anyways, okay. So let's see here. Before I just completely finish up for tonight, if you have questions, put them down in the comments. But otherwise, this is kind of what we do. We're going to talk about the coming soons, what's happening, and show you the market. Now, I do know Jacob had a question. You asked about land on the most one of my recent videos, asking about land and how much a lot goes for. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to land, there's so many different factors that we're looking at. We're going to look at, okay, is it cleared? Is it already connected to sewer? Does it have electricity already run to it, or is it close by? Does it need a well put in? All of those things are really important. But let's see here. Oh, this is such a detailed question tonight, Jacob. Okay. I have a guy I'm talking to in the area. He has about 30 acres of unimproved land. He told me as long as I'm not a developer, he'd sell it to me. Yes, John, it's map time. Let's do this. Here, I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see it. This is the multiple listing service, and this is something that I love to do real time when we have questions here on the channel. So let's see. We're going to go for your guy. We're going to go acreage, other, and residential. And then we're looking at, I'm actually going to look at 12 months worth of data. If it's too much, then we will come back to it. And then acreage, let's go a minimum of 10 acres and a maximum of 50 and see what we have that shows up. Let's see here. Area code 29697. That is 29697. That's actually considered Williamston. Got it. So Williamston, South Carolina. Let's see what we get going here. Pull out our map here. So it's way far. This is fun. I know a lot of people are looking for land as potentially to build, but it is something that I would want to maybe pay a little bit of attention to. Like, if you want to build, have you built before and do you have a healthy budget? We're actually going to run this down into Belton because I think Williamston and Belton kind of end up running together. And for you guys that are just jumping on here and you're wondering what in the world we're doing, we're looking up land and just seeing if we can pinpoint how much it is per acre down in the Williamston, Belton, Anderson area. We get Pelzer down in there quite a bit as well. So we have a whole bunch of acres. Let's do this. Let's go back over to criteria. Let's do a minimum of 20 acres. Oh yeah, that's much more manageable. 18 different properties have either been sold or are active. And for 27 acres, let's see here. Let's go here. A minimum of, oh dear, see, this is so different. There's an active piece of property for 20 acres for over $1 million. That's nuts. Okay, let's keep looking. I would say we're probably looking more in the Belton area, 30 or so acres. Residential or just acreage? When it comes to acreage, I would say your guy that's saying 230, that's low. That there's nothing else here. The lowest priced property is for 27 acres for $300,000. And the sold price here, let's look at it. Acreage is about $9,600 per acre. 12,000 per acre, 8,000, 11, 15, 23, and it's just continuing to, okay. So it looks like from, and this is just, I'm doing this really fast. I would want to know so much more about the land. What I can tell you right now is if he's only charging you like $8,000 to $9,000 an acre for 30 acres of property, that's not bad. That's actually a really good deal. So hope he doesn't watch this video or anything. But I would really, really want to make sure that it's good property. And guys, this is something that I do all the time with people. And I love to do it live for you because one, you get to kind of see what it takes behind the scenes, what I'm looking at. And I do spend a lot more time on this, but just knowing like this is the general location that you're looking in. And Williamston is where this property is. So Jacob, you're going to have to tell me if this isn't exactly where it is, but I think this is where it is. So I'm thinking from what I'm seeing, that's a pretty good price for your property there. Let's see here. Let's go over here and read Jacob's comments just a little bit. Here we go. Seems cheap. They're really anti-commercialization. And it's in a nicer area. Okay. Being vague, I get it. Hey, if you're going to build a house there, this is what a lot of people are looking for. Share my screen again. It just people want to be out a little bit. This is only 30 to 45 minutes max tops outside of downtown Greenville, and you're probably the same amount, if not closer, into Anderson, which there's also stuff there. And we like to bring up Anderson every so often because I think it's growing. It's also near the lakes, which a lot of people want to be near the lakes. So let's see here. John with the questions tonight. Yes. Let's look here. Has Hunter Quinn started more building? Yes, they have. I've actually been through neighborhoods with them, and they're building more great quality houses. If you haven't looked at Hunter Quinn as new construction, you should go check out our video on Anderson new construction. We walked a Hunter Quinn model home that I geeked out over. It was good quality for what I'm used to seeing. And it's really a semi-custom option. Even though they don't really market that way, being able to move things around and actually have choices in a new construction these days is just kind of unheard of again. So that is something that I pay attention to for sure. Let's see here, Jacob. Okay, you just moved here in July. You're just renting. I'm glad the videos have helped. Here you go. Let me know if we can help in any other way. Cool beans. All right. Yes, John, I love that you got to walk that house. I loved it. All right, y'all. Well, with that, it has been so nice to be back here chatting with you on our Thursday night, The Gab. And we're going to continue to do this. We're back. We took a nice long rest. And if you have questions, or if there's something that you're like, hey, Aubree, I know you do these shows every week, and you want to give me topics or things that you want to go a little bit deeper on, if I have time to actually prepare for it, I am really happy to talk about what you guys want to talk about, because it's not just about what's interesting to me. I want something that you are going to be interested in. So whether it's talking about new construction, pulling up a map, asking about home prices, that's what I do. And that's what this show is here for you. So welcome back to the Greenville Gab. I'm so excited. And we will catch you next week, Thursday, 8 o'clock. And we'll keep on going here. So lots of fun. Thanks, y'all. I will catch you next time. Bye.